Welcome back again, class 6. Today in mathematics, we will deal with some variants of fraction. And in that, the first one that we will study is about equivalent fraction. Now have a look at this one. Now here you have some diagrams. And yesterday we learned about how you can actually represent fractions in diagrams. So here you have one such diagram. Now, if you see this diagram, see the first diagram here. A complete circle is divided into two parts and one part is shaded. So the fractional representation of this is out of 2, one part is shaded. So 1 by 2. Now the same circle is now divided into 4 parts. So here you can see the denominator 4. And out of 4 parts, how many are shaded? 2 parts are shaded. So the fraction becomes 2 by 4. Now same circle is now divided into 6 equal parts. 6 parts you can count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. Now out of 6, 3 parts are shaded. Again here the whole circle is divided into 8 parts, and out of 8 parts 4 are shaded. So in each of them, half part of the circle is shaded. So if this is 1 by 2, that means half. 2 by 4 also represents the same half. 3 by 6, 3 is half of 6, 4 is half of 8. So in reality, 1 by 2, 2 by 4, 3 by 6 and 4 by 8, in terms of value, they are all equal. So in spite of having different numerators and denominators, all these 4 fractions in terms of value have the same value. So such fractions like 1 by 2, 2 by 4, 3 by 6, 4 by 8, they are equivalent fractions. So let's see the definition that is there in your book of equivalent fraction. 2 or more fractions having the same value or representing the same part of the whole are called equivalent fractions. That means fractions, I'm saying fractions, plural, fractions whose values are same even though they may have different numerators and denominators. Such fractions are called equivalent fractions. Now let us learn how to make equivalent fractions from one particular fraction. I have here few solved examples of equivalent fraction. Okay, check out. The first one is 1 by 2. I am creating some equivalent fractions of 1 by 2. So how do I do that? I will multiply the numerator as well as the denominator with the same factor. Like here, the numerator of 1 by 2 is 1, denominator is 2. 1 also I have multiplied with 1, 2 also I have multiplied with 1. So 1 ones are 1, 2 ones are 2. This is the first equivalent fraction. Next, what I will do, the same fraction I am going to multiply with the factor 2. First I had multiplied with the factor 1, now I am going to multiply with 2, both numerator and denominator. So 1 2s are 2, 2 2s are 4. Next again this 1 by 2, I am going to multiply both numerator and denominator with 3. First we had 1, then we multiplied both with 2, now both we will multiply with 3. So 1 into 3 is 3, 2 into 3 is 6. So the fraction we get is 3 by 6. Okay. Then same base fraction 1 by 2. First I multiplied with 1, then with 2, then with 3. Now I am going to multiply both numerator and denominator with 4. So 1 into 4 is 4. 2 into 4 is 8. So the fraction I get is 4 by 8. Again 1 by 2. Both I am going to multiply denominator and numerator with 5. So 1 into 5 is 5. 2 into 5 is 10. Then next I am going to multiply with 6. Both numerator and denominator. So 1 into 6 is 6. 2 into 6 is 12. So how many equivalent fractions have I got for 1 by 2? Let's see. The first one is 2 by 4, then 3 by 6, then 4 by 8, 5 by 10, 6 by 12. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equivalent fractions. Here I have written them separately for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equivalent fractions. First equivalent fraction is 2 by 4. Then we have 3 by 6, 4 by 8, 5 by 10, 6 by 12, and then we can go on making some more. So you got the process. The process is the same base fraction or the same original fraction, both the numerator and denominator we multiply with the same factor. If I am multiplying with 1, then both with 1. If I am multiplying with 2, then both numerator and denominator with 2. If with 3, then both numerator and denominator with 3. If with 4, then both numerator and denominator with 4. Likewise, with 5, with 6, you can go on doing with 7, with 8, and as many as you want, as many as it requires in the question. So likewise, for another fraction 3 by 5, let's see, the same method goes to make equivalent fraction. Okay, see 3 by 5, first it is multiplied with the numerator and denominator with 1, 3 also with 1, 5 also with 1. So first one is 3 by 5 itself. Then again 3 by 5, first we had multiplied with 1, now with 2. So 3 into 2, 5 also with 2. So what result we get is 3 into 2 is 6, 5 into 2 is 10. Next, again this same fraction 3 by 5, now I am going to multiply with 3. Next I am going to multiply with 4. Next I am going to multiply with 5. Next I am going to multiply with 6, with 7. So these are the fractions that I get. 6 by 10, 9 by 15, 12 by 20, 15 by 25, 18 by 30, 21 by 35. And if you multiply further, like in this one we had multiplied last with 7, right? 3 also with 7, 5 also with 7. Then again next you can go on multiplying 3 with 8, 5 with 8, and you can get another set of equivalent fraction. So how many equivalent fractions we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first one was 3 by 5, so that one I haven't included. So first actually that got created is 6 by 10, then 9 by 15, 12 by 20, 15 by 25, 18 by 30, 21 by 35, and you can go on adding as many as you want. Let us now come back to your book, to question number 6. Now this also deals with equivalent fraction. It says write 2 equivalent fractions for each of the following. So for 4 by 7 we need 2 equivalent fraction, for 5 by 9 also, for 2 by 15 also. So let us see how do we solve for this. Here it is. For the first fraction we have is 4 by 7. And how many equivalent fractions required? 2 equivalent fractions. Okay, so for 4 by 7, the 2 equivalent fractions, first we will multiply not with 1, with 2, both numerator and denominator. So we get 8 by 14, that is 4 into 2 is 8, 7 into 2 is 14. So again this 4 by 7, next not with 2, now it will be with 3, both numerator and denominator. So 4 into 3 is 12, 7 into 3 is 21. So these are the 2 required equivalent fractions. So 2 equivalent fractions of 4 by 7 are, one is 8 by 14 here, and another is 12 by 21. 12 by 21. So next fraction is 5 by 9. Now the 2 equivalent fractions of 5 by 9, how to do? Again with the same method likewise. So the numerator 5 first we will multiply with 2, denominator also 9 with 2. So this is what you get, 10 by 18. Next again 5 by 9, first we had done with 2, right? Now we will do with 3, both numerator and denominator. 5 into 3 is 15, 9 into 3 is 27. So these are the 2 equivalent fractions of 5 by 9. So the 2 equivalent fractions of 5 by 9 are 10 by 18 and 15 by 27. Likewise for 2 by 15, 8 by 11 I have done, and the fifth one that is there, that is 11 by 18, I am leaving it for you to be done as homework. And as for these 2, you can take the screenshot of these 2 and pausing the video over here, or you can pause the video over here and take the screenshot. The next question is question number 7. Question number 7 says, for 8 by 9, write an equivalent fraction whose numerator should be 32. So this is what the question would look like. 8 by 9, here is 8 by 9. An equivalent fraction of 8 by 9 whose numerator is given 32 but denominator is missing. That we have to find. So the question would look like this. Okay, I have given a blank for the denominator which I have to find. Numerator is given 32. So first thing, we have to find the relationship between 8 and 32, or you can say 8 multiplied by what will give us 32. So 8 multiplied by 4, we all know, gives us 32, right? So 4 is that factor which makes 8 into 32. So with that same 4, I will have to multiply 9 also. So 8 into 4 gives 32. So with 9 also I have to multiply with the same factor 4. So 9 4 is 36. That means what will be that equivalent fraction whose numerator is 32? What will be the denominator? The denominator will be 36. So this is the answer, or you can say this is that equivalent fraction of 8 by 9 whose numerator is 32. And what would be the denominator? 36. Okay. So the next question is, this is the fraction 27 by 36. Make an equivalent fraction of this particular fraction whose denominator should be 4. So this is how the question would look like. Denominator 4 but numerator is missing. That we have to find. So with 4 we have to find the relationship with 36. 36, what should be done with 36 to make it 4? So 36 should be divided by 9 to make it 4. So our factor is divided by 9. So same thing, 27, the numerator also should be divided by 9 only. So let us see, if you divide 27 by 9, you will get 3. So what will be that required equivalent fraction? 3 by 4. Okay, so the denominator is 4, so numerator will be 3. Next topic that we would look into is simplest form of a fraction, or you can say reduced form of a fraction. First, let us see the definition of what is the simplest form of a fraction. A fraction is said to be in its simplest form or lowest form or reduced form if its numerator and denominator both have no common factor except 1. Now what is this common factor? To understand this, we would have to look at some examples. So to make us understand about this simplest form and the common factors, I have chosen this particular example. Consider a fraction 4 by 26. Okay. So what are the factors of 4, or what are the numbers with which 4 is made up of? 4 can be written as 2 into 2. So 2 and 2 are the factors of 4. 2 into 2, they are the factors of 4. And 26 can be written as 13 into 2. So 13 and 2 both are factors of 26. Now as you can see over here, between numerator and denominator, these two are the common factors. Now these can be split up. 2 into 2 or 2 by 13, 2 into 2 divided by 13 into 2 can be written in this way also by splitting. See, this 2 by 13 I have written separately, and this 2 divided by 2 I have written separately. So these two are the common factors which gets cancelled actually, because numerator and denominator, if they have the same value, you can actually cancel them out. So if you cancel these common factors, what is the remaining? Remaining is 2 by 13. This 2 by 13 is called the simplest form or the reduced form. Okay, you can't reduce 2 by 13 anymore by finding common factors, because there are no more common factors between 2 and 13. Okay, I hope you have understood this example. Similarly, there is one more example given here. 27 by 72, this one fraction. Let us see if they have any common factors. So 27, what are the factors of 27? 3 into 9 is 27. So 3 and 9 both are the factors of 27. Similarly, 72, 8 into 9 is 72. So 8 and 9 are factors of 72. Now as you can see, in both numerator and denominator, the common factor is 9. So I have separated this, I have separated like this. So 3 by 8, this 3 by 8 I have written separately, and 9 by 9 I have written separately. So 9 by 9, that means 9 is the common factor between both numerator and denominator. So common factors get cancelled. As you can see over here, I have cancelled the same common factors, and what is remaining is 3 by 8. So this 3 by 8 is the simplest or the reduced form of this particular fraction, 27 by 72. So, or 27 by 72 can be reduced and written as 3 by 8. Okay. So this is the meaning of fraction in its lowest form. Now let us come to our book. In our book we have the question in question number 8. Okay, here you can see question 8. Which of the following fractions are in their simplest form? So here are some fractions given. We have to find out which of these fractions are in the simplest form. That means which of these fractions have no common factors. So I have done these questions in my copy. First fraction is 46 by 64. Now 46 by 64, they have common factor of 2. You can see over here. 46 can be split up and written as 23 into 2. 64 can be split up into 32 into 2. So 32 and 2 are the factors of 64. 23 into 2 are the factors of 46. So which is the common factor you have here? 2 is the common factor. So when you cancel out 2, what do you have remaining? 23 and 32. 23 in the numerator, 32 in the denominator. So this 23 by 32 is the reduced fraction. So is this 46 by 64 in its simplest form? No. This can be further simplified and written this. So 46 by 64 is not in the simplest form, as you can see by the working done over here. Next question is 13 by 84. Now 13 and 84 have no common factors. You can also see, find out. I found no common factors between 13 and 84. Alright. So since 13 and 84 don't have any common factors, this 13 by 84 itself is in its simplest form. So yes, this part 2 is in its simplest form. Then part 3, you have 35 by 49. So 35 can be split up and written as 5 into 7. 49 can be split up and written as 7 into 7. So 7 is the common factor. So if you cancel out 7, as I have done over here, then you have 5 by 7. So 5 by 7 is the reduced form, not 35 by 49. So even 35 by 49 is not in its simplest form. The next fraction is 113 by 126. For this also I did not find any common factors. So since no common factors between 113 and 126, so this is itself in its simplest form. Same way for 27 and 64. 27 and 64 have no common factors in them, between them. So 27 by 64 is also in its lowest form. Alright. So which fractions we got to its lowest form? 4, 5, and on this page you had 2. 2, 4 and 5 were in their simplest form. Okay, the next question is question number 9. Okay, in question number 9 we have been given some fractions, out of which I have done part 1, part 2 and part 3. Okay, in question number 9, here is question number 9. There are 3 parts here. I have done for all the 3 parts. Okay, so the first question or the first fraction is 10 by 15. So as you can see over here, I have split up 10 and written it as 2 into 5. 2 into 5 is 10. 15 I have split up as 3 into 5. Okay, 3 into 5, 15. 2 into 5, 10. So what is that common factor between both numerator and denominator? 5. So if you cancel out these common factors, you have left is 2 by 3. So 2 by 3 is our simplest form. 2 by 3 is the simplest form. So the simplest form for part 1 is 2 by 3. Alright, now again for part 2, you have the fraction 16 by 28. So both numerator and denominator I have split up. 16 can be written as 4 into 4. 28 can be written as 7 into 4. So what is the common factor? 4. So cancel out the common factor, and what is left over? 4 by 7. So 4 by 7 is our simplest fraction, or the fraction in the simplest form. The last one is 35 by 63. Again split it up. 35 can be written as 5 into 7. 63 can be written as 9 into 7. So 7 is that common factor between both numerator and denominator. Cancel that out. Common factor should be cancelled out. So what remains? 5 by 9. So this 5 by 9 is the simplest form. The next question that is there, you have done in your lower classes also. Classification of fractions. Fractions, there are proper fraction, improper fractions, and mixed fractions, or mixed numbers also you can say. Now what are proper fractions? Now here are some questions. They have asked us to label them as proper, improper, and mixed. So which are proper fractions? Fractions whose numerators are smaller than denominators. So how many proper fractions we have here whose numerators are smaller than denominators? You have this one number, part 1, that is 4 by 9. 4 is smaller than 9. 4 is the numerator, it is smaller, so it is a proper fraction. Similarly, 2 by 15 is a proper fraction. 2 is the numerator, which is smaller than denominator 15. Then any more? No, only these two you have whose numerator is smaller than denominator, and so they are proper fractions. So remember, proper fractions are those fractions whose numerator is smaller than denominator. Next comes improper fractions. Now improper fractions are those fractions whose numerators are either bigger than the denominator or same as the denominator. Like this one you see, 14 divided by 14. Both numerator and denominators are same. So in that case, we will call this fraction as improper fraction. Proper fractions are those whose numerators are smaller than denominator. Improper fractions, either the numerator and denominators are same or numerator is bigger than denominator. So you have how many improper fractions here? 11 by 8 is an improper fraction. 43 by 7 is an improper fraction. 14 by 14 is an improper fraction. 5 by 3 is an improper fraction. All these fractions have bigger numerator. Next we have mixed fraction. In a mixed fraction, you have two components combined together or mixed together. One is a number, another is a proper fraction. See, this particular fraction is a mixture of number as well as a proper fraction. 7 is the number, 4 by 5 is the proper fraction. So mixture of a number and a proper fraction is called mixed fraction. Similarly, this particular fraction, 10 is the number, 2 by 11 is the proper fraction. So this is also a mixed fraction. So I think only these two are mixed fractions here, this one and this one. Next we will learn how to convert an improper fraction to proper fraction, and how to convert a mixed fraction to improper fraction. Sorry, I quoted it wrong. How to convert improper fraction to a mixed fraction. Okay, how to convert improper fraction to a mixed fraction. So here in question number 11 of your book, you have these questions. Now I have done for you part 1, part 2 and part 5. So what I have not done is part 3 and part 4. Part 3 and part 4 of question number 11 is your homework that you will do. So let us see. The first question is 29 by 4. This is a improper fraction. So 29 by 4 means 29 should be divided by 4. Here 29 is divided by 4. So 4 7s are 28. Remainder you get 1. Now how to write this one as mixed fraction? Here I have given the arrows. First you have to write this quotient. Then you have to write the remainder on the top, and then followed by the divisor at the bottom. So you can see first quotient here 7, the quotient is written. Then next to it 1, that is the remainder, should be written on top. Here 1 is written on top, divided by divisor 4 should be written at the bottom. So the mixed fraction is 7, 1 by 4. I think this also you have done in your lower classes. Similarly 63 by 10. That means 63 should be divided by 10. 63 divided by 10. So 10 6 is 60. Remainder is 3. So as you can see the direction of arrows. First to be written is 6. The quotient here 6 I have written. Then the remainder 3 on top. Here 3 is on top. Then the divisor 10 at the bottom. So our mixed fraction is 6 3 by 10. First quotient, then remainder, then the divisor. The next one is 209 by 12. So I have done the division over here. As you can see, our quotient that we got is 17, remainder 5, and of course the divisor was 12. So first to be written is the quotient here. Quotient is the number, then the remainder is the numerator of the mixed fraction, and the divisor is the denominator of the mixed fraction. So this is how we convert an improper fraction to mixed fraction. Next we will learn how to convert mixed fraction to improper fraction, the opposite of the previous one. So here in question 12 of your book you have the first mixed fraction 7 3 by 4. 7 3 by 4. So our formula is this. Denominator, as you can see over here, you have denominator, number, numerator. Denominator is 4, number is 7, numerator is 3. So formula is denominator into number plus numerator divided by the whole thing divided by denominator. Okay, so I have put the numbers according to the formula. Denominator into number. Denominator 4 into number 7 plus numerator 3. The whole thing should be divided by denominator 4. So 7 4 is 28. 28 plus 3, 31 by 4. This 31 by 4 is our improper fraction. Likewise, the next question is 6 4 by 9. This is the mixed fraction. Same formula will work out for this also. Denominator into number plus numerator. Denominator 9 into number 6 plus numerator 4. The whole thing divided by denominator. The whole thing divided by denominator. Denominator is 9. So solve it. 9 6 54 plus 4. So 54 plus 4 is 58 by 9. This is our improper fraction. And the last one is this. As you can see, I will not explain this separately. You can take a screenshot of this one. Okay, see the working of this one and take the screenshot.